laughing. That's so twin.
Welcome back to Twin Brain Podcast. Today's episode
is Twin Brains on Gettin School.
So we're going to talk about school.
Epic.
So
we're on winter break. We just finished our finals. Lucy, would you say that your finals were hard?
No. I went around all week saying that I wasn't that worried about it because I figured if I just kept saying that I wasn't that worried about it, then I wouldn't be that worried about it, and then I would do great. So that was my strategy, mentally, going into finals.
I was just worried about chemistry, but then I, did it, and I was like, oh, that was easy. And then math, I was like, and then, I did the thing, and then it was, easy. But then my grade was, not easy.
You know what I have to say? I have a bone to pick with the math final, and my mom said that I should email our teacher about this, but I didn't because I kind of forgot, and then I was like, it's too late, it doesn't really matter, I got a good grade. But basically, we did an online test for most of it, and there were all these problems about polynomials, and you had to, just type in, it already had, x squared x, and then just a blank one for the constant on there. And you just have to type in, the coefficient for each one, right? And so whenever it was a coefficient of 1, I just didn't type anything in, and apparently it counts it wrong if you do that, which made me so mad, because just typing in X is the same as 1x. You don't have to put a 1.
Yeah, but you left the blank empty.
I know, but
I put a 1.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad about that. I probably should have asked, because I was kind of wondering if we had to or not. I don't know why I didn't just do it, because it's not like it can count you wrong if you did, but yeah, I probably should have just done it, but I decided not to email him because I figured it didn't matter. I got a good grade on that test, but we're not going to talk about grades apparently, because my mom always says, she's like, when I was in college we had this pact at our whole school that you're not allowed to tell anybody what you got on anything because it makes people feel bad, and you shouldn't talk about grades. Because I was in the car with Lillian on Friday. Yes. I had to think about that. And she was like, wait, what did you get on the math final? And then before I even said anything, my mom was like, no, don't tell her what you got. Don't talk about grades. And then I just told her anyways. But, yeah.
What did you get, Lucy?
Now I'm going to tell the whole podcast. Okay, I got a 94, but
I got an 87. That I could see.
I should have done better if I would have marked those ones with a 1, because there was 3 different questions about that. And I feel bad that I didn't email him now, because I feel like, it could have bumped Lillian up a whole grade, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? She didn't do it either, but I realized that I had done it wrong as soon as this other girl asked him, do we have to put the 1s in front of it? This was after I had already turned that part of the test in, and he was like, yes, you have to do that. And I was like, oh no, that's bad.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. But, whatever. Anyways, how have we been affected by school? Wait, are we going to talk about our other finals or just that final? Because I want to talk about my other finals,
I want to talk about my other finals. My Spanish final was easy peasy. I got a 98%.
I don't understand how I can get a grade on my French final because we didn't even do it. So, basically, we took our last test. We've only had 2 tests all semester. No shade against my French teacher. I don't mind, but I just feel like, it's pretty atypical. Okay, I guess we had 3 tests. Okay, we've had 3 tests and no quizzes. So that's pretty good. And then, for our final, we did not take a test. We did not do a project. We didn't do anything. So basically we just watched movies during our review time. We were watching The Little Prince. So that's pretty French, I guess. With English subtitles. We can't read the book because we don't know French. It's pretty sad.
Would be like, no.
And then, so we did an escape room as our final. So she had we have, like, our class mascot, which is a stuffed animal hedgehog, and so he was missing,
Sonic.
so we had to find him. No, nothing like Sonic. He has, like, a little red beret. It's very cute. And then we had to, like, find where he ran off to, so we were, like, looking through his passports, we were, like, putting all the clues together, and then we figured out his coordinates, and we were, like, typing them into Google Maps, and we totally figured out his exact location. He was hiding in a trash can, we're pretty sure, because we went into Street View for more accuracy. No, probably, that wasn't part of it, but it was funny. Alright, so that was our language finals. Easy. Probably
Easy.
got 100. Because it was, I don't know how she could take points off, like, we finished. So, we found him. The hedgehog.
Yeah. English final.
Yeah. We watched a movie. we
We had stories, and then we had questions based on the stories, and then we had an essay question at the end. And it was pretty easy. I don't know, the question was weird. It was like theme. So you have to find the theme of the story. You have to find one theme that could be in the story that you read, and then you have to write up to or at least 3 paragraphs on that. And I was like, Our
English teacher never uses just the word theme. She always says universal theme, and I just feel like
Yeah.
it's getting redundant at this point. Like,
because universal theme just like restates that it means like it could be applied to anything universally.
but what kind of theme can't be applied to anything universal? Like, you know, if you say, like, I'm trying to think of a theme now.
Like
I feel like there's a
that
billion different themes.
the boy that cried wolf, that story.
Yeah, the
Like
theme
the
is
universal theme would be like,
isn't it the same thing?
well, like
English is dumb. It's so dumb. I used to like English. It used to be my favorite because in elementary school it's just like, you know, you get to read, and I loved reading, so I would just sit and read books, or we would read the stories, and I would get to write, and I liked writing, so, I mean, I guess I still like writing. I don't know. There was, okay, so
Poem.
I took creative writing in, like, 7th grade, and that was not a great experience. It was a good class, but, like, it was sad because I had it, like, 4th hour, and it was lunch, and I didn't have any friends, and it was kind of a
Aw.
mess, and then...
And they made you sit with
you
your
have
class.
to sit with your class. I had friends in that lunch, and I could have gone over and sat by them, but they, like, wouldn't let you. And my mom was like, Lucy, that's so depressing. Don't sit alone at lunch. Just sneak over. And so I tried to sneak over, but I'm such a bad rule breaker that I went over there while their teacher was still dropping them off. It was so dumb, and she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know, can I sit here? She was like, no. It was so sad. That was, like, the worst. But I liked the writing part of it, and I was the only one. Like, no one in that class really did work. Everyone just took it to, like, take an easy class. But it was with the drama teacher, and I liked her, so that made it kind of fun. And I do like writing, I guess. But then I went through this, and then I was all like, no, I don't like writing, that's lame, I don't want to be one of those people who likes writing, and now I'm just like, honestly, whatever. I don't care if I like writing or not. But I did submit my poem about tennis to Elementia, the library magazine, so they better let it in, because the famous poet said that it was good, and he made me submit it, and he said, you better submit that, so I did, I guess. But my English final, we watched a movie. It was a very good movie. It was called The Zookeeper's Wife. It was pretty literary, I guess, for being a movie. And, you know, I guess movies can be literature, right? That's what I'm learning in English this year. And then, basically, for our final...
Oh, gosh!
For our final in English, though, we She gave us this random poem that had nothing to do with anything we were talking about, but it was a good poem, and she was just like, analyze it in whatever way you would like. So I was like, okay. I think I made it be about, like, metaphor or something, like extended metaphor. And then we had to write basically like a full essay on the movie. It wasn't super long, it just had to be like 4 paragraphs. And it could just be over, there was like 4 different prompts that we could do. So I always end up picking the symbolism one. And by always, I mean we've done like 2 essays this year, and I picked it both times. But I picked the symbol of the piano because they kept, oh my gosh, my essay was very well tied together. I was quite proud of that because it's called, like, I don't know, I called it like the double-edged sword, and it's because it symbolizes like 2 different things at the same time, and I thought that was interesting, so that's what I wrote about. I feel like it would be the type of thing that an English teacher would like, so that's what I was going for.
During my AP Euro final, all I literally did was watch funny videos with Isabel, because we were both done, because we started the final part, like, before AP Euro final time. So we just watched funny videos, and it was so hard not to laugh.
You did that during the gym final too.
Yeah.
But
that was like
that was like not an actual.
Yeah, it was just like a survey.
Yeah, basically. Like, it was like
how it's like, do you have 10 minutes after the bell rings to get changed into gym clothes and then be in the gym, or you're counted tardy? True or false?
Yeah, and like, what games did we play games in this class?
Yeah. No. Are you supposed to walk in a lap around the gym when you get to the gym?
Are you allowed to have your phone during class? Yeah, it was great. And then what other finals did I have? I had my child development final, so that wasn't too bad. We were allowed to use a review on that. I still feel like the tests, which we also only had 2 tests total in that class, they were so cryptic. Like, it's like, what does she want me to put? I don't like it when tests are like, what does the teacher want me to put, versus like, what is the answer? Because then it's getting too subjective. And even though it's multiple choice, it still feels very subjective. Because I was very annoyed because on the test we did over pregnancy, it was like, what trimester is the gestational diabetes test in? And I still am convinced that it could be in the 2nd trimester, and I put 2nd trimester. I don't think it's usually the 3rd.
Testing for gestational diabetes usually occurs between 24 and 28 weeks of pregnancy. The 2nd trimester lasts through the end of week 27.
Which is what the correct answer was supposedly supposed to be. I don't know. I asked my mother this, and she is a mother, and she said, I don't know, I think it's during the 2nd. So clearly it is, because I'm right. And she's a doctor, so she knows what she's talking about. She worked as an OBGYN when she was pregnant in her residency, but that's different. Anyways, so, did we talk about all our finals? Biology final. That was pretty easy. My biology teacher during the review time literally came over and told me to stop studying because she was like, you can get a 33 on this final. I think you can do that without studying. I wouldn't even make a note card. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to make my note card and then I'll, study for math. But I did get on that. I think I got, a 97, honestly. So I passed with flying colors.
Yeah. My band final. Well, the band final was easy, but I was trying out for drum major. And that was, kind of scary, I guess, because you have to stand in front of the whole band, and they're all, looking at you.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about band.
My knees got wobbly when I was up there. And then and then you're, in a room, they're all sitting, 5 of them, they're sitting, and then you're just the only one standing. You're the only one standing, and they ask you, they asked me, 3 questions, and I was like, I didn't get drum major, but that's fine. I knew I wasn't going to.
Yeah, that's okay. You still tried your best.
Yeah. They said that I could get it next year, though.
Yeah. Usually for those types of things, they want to give people who have less chances left chances. You know?
What?
Like older people, you know? Like, for instance, if you're in a middle school play, like an 8th grader, if it's between an 8th grader and a 7th grader, the 8th grader will probably beat you out because...
Well, no, like, each time, like, there's a junior drum major, and there's a senior drum major.
Oh, well, that's
so
different.
It's still... But, like,
sense.
I knew it was between me and one other person. The other person got it, but it makes sense, because they were, like... They talked to the past 2 drum majors about it a lot, and I was like...
Yeah. Okay. That's
anyway.
great. How many other finals did I have? I think I talked about all of them.
Yeah.
Except for my social studies one. Social studies, it was easy. It was like a 125 question multiple choice test, and I did the review, so I knew what I was talking about. And I knew where the countries were for the mapping part. So.
All the countries.
Yeah, I know where all the countries are.
Where's he?
Oh, really? You like to travel? Name every place.
When you say a meme.
Wow, that was really funny. It's so funny when people say memes out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next bullet point.
Okay. Have we liked school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Sometimes it'd be like, whoa there. And sometimes it'd be like, easy peasy. But all the time, it'd be pretty fun.
Through elementary school, I pretty much was like, yeah, whatever. I like going to school, but I would rather stay home, you know? I feel like that's pretty normal. But then once you're, like, off for a while, like for winter break, for instance,
like,
shout
I
out to
need
winter
school.
break, then you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored, send me back to school. So I feel like that's a pretty normal thing. Then in 7th grade, I seriously hated school. That was not a good year for me. Except for that one part where I sat by Effie. That was good. And then in 8th grade, I liked school a lot. That was an intense vibe, but it was still a vibe. And now I like school. I like high school a lot. It's less
Free.
Communistic. That's what I was just thinking. It's a little bit more...
You have some more freedom.
Yeah, because in middle school, I felt like they were excessively controlling over us. They were like, go to your Eagle Hour before school starts. You cannot go to the bathroom. If we find out that you went to the bathroom before school, you will get in trouble and get written up. And I was like, what? You have to sit by your own class at lunch. That's so stupid. They literally had rules about, at the end, you got to miss out on this. But... in 8th grade, they started making rules about how you could go up the stairs. So, like, you had to take the secret stairs every time, like the back stairs, every time you wanted to go down.
What?
And every time you wanted to go up, you had to use the main stairs. So, like, say you had, like, a math class on the top floor, and you want to get to, like, a Spanish class on the bottom floor.
You have to go through the
You would
stairs.
go take the secret stairs. However, say you had math class on the top floor and then you had gym class on the middle floor. No, do not go to the main stairwell, go down one flight of stairs and go to your gym class. No, that would be ridiculous. Go to the end of the hallway, go down the secret stairs, go back to the middle of the hallway and go up the main stairs to get to the middle floor.
That's
so dumb.
They're trying to, like, control the traffic, but, like...
Yeah, because there's way too many kids crammed in too small of a school and someone's gonna get hurt. It's, like, really dumb. I don't know what's going on with that. I emailed my old math teacher the other day, and I was just chatting with her, and she wrote me back, but she didn't say whether they changed that back or not, but I just feel like it wasn't working, and everyone hated it. People made, like, a petition about it, and we had this, like, secret plan that no one was gonna follow. Because we were just thinking, like, you know, if nobody does it, what are they going to do? They can't write us all up. Because that was what they said. They were going to write you up if you went down the stairs. Like, I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous.
Bro. Middle school be like,
Don't go to the bathroom. Don't do it.
just like pee in your pants, and then they'll let you go to the bathroom. I've won, but at what cost?
Me when I was actually 3. Okay, funny story. I probably told you this. I did tell you this. So I would get, like, put in my room for timeout and stuff, and I was like, Mom, let me out. I have to go to the bathroom, because, you know, that's how you get out of timeout, you know. And she was like, no, you don't. You always say that. And I was like, yes, I do. I'm not lying. And she was like, no, you're lying, because I always did that. And then I just peed on the floor. And they learned their lesson on that one. On the carpet floor, guys.
Oh, God.
Wow, that was my proudest moment. No, definitely not. But
Did you know, like, at the end of the math, like, if you're going to math class from, like, that one hallway, and you just go straight back, there's a staircase there. But I don't know where it goes.
Wait,
I saw someone open...
Wait, at high school?
Yeah. I saw someone open the door for those stairs, and then there's, like, stairs. I saw stairs, but then I'm like, where do they go, though? Like, it would go, like, down into, like, the cafeteria, but there's, like, no stairs in the cafeteria.
Wait a sec. Secret passageway?
Secret room.
Well, there's, like, the elevator. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was, like... It looked like stairs.
It's in the U?
Yeah, like, the math, like, hallways, that's, like, that. And if that's math class and you go down this hallway, it was, like, right there.
That's really weird. I
don't
want to
know.
go down them. You're allowed to go down the
After
stairs at this school.
Yeah, you can go down and up all the stairs that you
Because
want.
there's, like, more than 2 staircases, so that's helpful.
Wait, how many? Okay, there's 1,
Well, technically there's
2,
3.
3, 4.
Not at the middle school.
At the middle school we both attended.
Yeah. But there's a lot at high school. Apparently there's some secret ones. Okay.
The ones that we know of. Wait, I want to count it. Okay, so 1, 2. Does, like, the one by the gyms count, the big one?
Yeah.
Okay, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3.
Wait, what are you talking about? The one by the gyms? Like the one
Yeah,
to
like
go through the student comments?
the one that's, like, in between the field house and the other gym.
What? I'm a freshman. I don't know all the stairs.
Like, if you... I don't know. It's okay. I'm going to count them. Okay, so 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is riveting.
And then maybe 8. I don't know. I think there's... If you count the ones that go up to, like, the field house stands... If you count the one that goes up...
Oh, that's not a I mean, it is a staircase.
by the water fountain
Yeah.
that goes up like that for
I've only been up those stairs one time.
ROTC.
Yeah, those are stairs.
Okay, so
I don't
there's
know. There's
8, maybe 9.
like maybe 13? I don't know. Comment down below how many stairs did your high school have if you don't go to our high school. Because we clearly just calculated it accurately, so don't
Very
even worry about it.
accurately. Very accurate. Oh, what about questions? I just remembered.
I told you to do that at like 10. Oh wait, you were sleeping.
I was asleep. I'm sorry. I stayed up way too late. I'm gonna see if anyone
so
looked
did
at
I.
it.
But then I got up early because
Because as soon as I woke up,
did.
I made it. It was seen by 4, and
Oh no. Alright, we'll be getting to those questions.
we'll get to those later.
Wow, we have such a good fan base of like 2 people. Okay. We have 21 followers apparently.
Epic.
Wow, we were in the car the other day driving home from the park, and my little brother asked me, Lucy, what's 9 plus 10? So, of course, I said 21. And my dad was in the front, and he was like, Lucy, it's not 21. And I was like, no, you don't get it. It's a joke. He was like, what? But that was kind of a funny joke. Okay. Next bullet point. Being in public school. Bro, imagine being homeschooled.
Alright. Public school is kind of alright. I mean, there's like always...
I would not go to any other school besides public school.
There's-
Unpopular opinion. I would flat out, no.
There's like people that are like really smart and they're like good at everything, and then there's the people that are just like probably have all F's and stuff, and you're just like... And the only time you ever get put in the same class as like, if you're like, yeah, if you get in the same class of them, it's gonna be like a health class or a PE class
Or like an elective. That's...
one that you
See,
don't
that's
need to
the
be.
problem with taking electives that are easy is, like, you know you're gonna end up in a class of, like, there's going to be some people in that class who didn't actually want to take it and they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Which is annoying.
Or
That
then,
happens
like,
a lot in French because, like, there's not that many people who actually need to be learning French or want to. However, there are a lot of people who are like, hey, my friend is in French, maybe I should join French. Or, like, I need a class to take, I should take French. And then it's like, okay, I'm glad you're taking French, that's a good idea to try it, but, like, you have to say something. Like, you can't just not talk. Some people, like, don't even want to talk in English, much less French, so it's just, like, really awkward. And I'm one of the few, like, French 2s in a whole class of French 1s. It's really weird. We have a mixed class. And so I will usually get put in, like, a group with other French 1s, and I'm supposed to be, like, leading their discussion. And it's just terrible when you're like, okay, so, you know, what's your favorite color? And then we're, like, all talking in French. And then they're like, I don't know, like, rouge, I guess. It's like, okay. Alright, whatever, great. But, you know, that's fine. But I think I would be so bored if there weren't people who didn't care about school at my school. I feel like it's good to have a good mix of people going on, you know? Like, I'm not saying that there should be people who don't care about school. I think everyone should care about school. However, is it realistic? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I remember my mom saying something weird about, like, when I was younger, like, would you feel better if you, like, went to a fancy private school for smart kids? And I was like, no, I would hate that. And she was like, okay, that's good to know. And I was like, I like my school. I just feel like I wouldn't like going to a private school. I wouldn't like being homeschooled very much, but...
Homeschooled? I feel like it would, like, after a while, you'd just be like,
Yeah, I don't feel very good when I, like, don't, like, get up. I don't like to get up early, that's not what I'm saying, but it's like, I feel better when I do, like,
yeah.
and I'm on, like, a normal person's sleep schedule. It's nice to have break and weekends, but I don't think that would feel as good if you know.
Yeah, you gotta wake
we're
up
always
early.
not going to a place.
I didn't do that today.
Plus, like, I feel like it's so much easier to get your work done if everyone else is getting their work done too, and you're all just
working instead of just you.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like, even just, like, I took an online health class over the summer, which it's not the same thing at all, but it's not fun to, like, get out your computer and, like, do a bunch of school for the day and then just have, the rest of your day to do whatever else you're doing. But, you know, what would I be doing if I was homeschooled? I would obviously be doing school, but, like, I feel like, at least when you go to school every day, you can, like, see your friends if you have them. If you have any friends, you can, like, part of your day is, like, talking to your friends. You can go eat lunch. You can go to class, talk to people in class.
No different teachers.
Yeah, teachers can make school a lot better or a lot worse, depending on the teacher, but, you know, they definitely add character.
Our school has a teacher who has a Spotify.
Oh, yes, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a Spotify, technically. Not for music, but for podcasts, so we can relate.
Always plugs.
Got lots of
Spotify.
characters.
Yeah, we got Ham.
We got Ham. Ham is such a good
School
character.
sports, like
School sports. What would you be doing? Joining, like, some obscure soccer club? Like, you know, I feel like school clubs, going to school events, like, they always be having, you know, football games, band. I'm not in band. Plays. You know, it's just a good vibe to go to a school.
Concerts.
People can ask you what school you can go to, and you can tell them a school instead of saying, actually, homeschool.
My home.
Yeah, I've known a lot of people who are homeschooled or who were homeschooled, and then they, like, started going to regular school for, like, middle school or high school, or, like, they started in public school, so I knew them, and then they went to homeschool.
There's this book I read. There's this book I read. It's called Schooled, and it's like,
very on brand for our episode today.
I know, and it's really good. It's like this kid who's like a hippie, I guess. He lives with his, like, grandma or his aunt or something, but she's kind of old, and they just, like, learns a whole bunch of stuff, and he learns it all, like, the hippie way, and they live on a farm, and then once his grandma fell, like, off the tree after trying to pick some fruits or something. He had to take her to the hospital, and then they were like, okay, you have to enroll in, like, normal school. And he went to normal school, and he got bullied a lot, but then, like, he eventually became, like, the most popular kid because he was, like, just so nice and stuff. He buried a bird. They put a dead bird in his locker, and he buried it outside. And they were like, bro, what are you doing, though?
That makes me think of this book that I read. Wow, we're just really vibing over here as such readers. I'm a big reader. Actually, I don't read as much as I used to or as much as I should, but I'm getting better. Especially ever since I quit reading The Prestige, because I was reading it and I got, like, maybe a third of the way through it, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so boring. I'm not getting past this part. Also, it was just, like, really hard to read because it had, like, super tiny print, and it was, like, single-spaced, and there was no margin. I kid you not. Like, the words went from, like, the very top of the page to the very bottom, and from the very side to the very side, and it was a small book, like, this big.
Wow.
So it was, like, bound really tightly. It was, like, rebound because it was an old book, so they, like, rebind them, which I don't know if you guys are book nerds, but that makes it way less enjoyable to read. It was just not going well, so I just quit, and now I'm reading, like, good books, and that's much better, so. Also, a quick break for literary review time for 2019. I read Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid, which is, like, the Rowley book that he just made, where it's, like, from Rowley's perspective instead of from Greg's perspective, and I have to say, I had good expectations for that book, or at least medium expectations, and it sucked! It was so bad! It was not good at all, it was so dumb, it was all from Rowley's point of view, which was what I was expecting. What I was not expecting was for it to, after 3 pages, turn into not Rowley's diary, but instead Greg twisted his arm to make it into a biography of Greg from Rowley's point of view. He reused, like, so many of the same stories that were in the Greg books, like, in all different Greg books, so the timeline made no sense, but he was just, like, telling them from the past, which I have to say, that was what was going on in The Prestige, too, and I think the most boring thing that you can do in a book is make it be, like, someone writing about the past. That's very boring.
One big flashback, not.
Yes, I don't want to read a big flashback. Like, I want to read it.
We learned about that in
What's
English. Like, not to make everything one big, like, thing, like to...
Really? Because I feel like I've been noticing that so much lately. Because The Prestige, don't get me started. What I was trying to get through was not 1, not 2, not, yes, 3. but 3 different layers of a flashback at once, going on for like chapters at a time. Allow me to explain. This book was taking place, right? Books take place. It was about this guy's great-great-grandson. He was telling his story, he was explaining it. It was sort of told in like a past tense, but like not really in a flashback kind of way, which I think is okay. That's fine to do for a whole story. But then he got into this part where he was telling about where this lady sent him his grandfather's diary, or great-great-grandfather or whatever. He got this diary, he like had it, and she was like, "Did you read it?" And he was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna read that, it's boring." And then, what do you know? He inserted the whole diary, and the reader has to read the thing that the character wouldn't read because it was boring. And what? It's boring! Why would you read it? And, so, this is already in the past, because it's his great-great-grandfather's diary. However, his great-great-grandfather does not start writing about his life. He starts summarizing his life, starting from the beginning. It was so horrible! That book was really written very well, but that was just a weak point, and honestly, I would have just skipped it, but I just couldn't deal with it anymore, so I quit. And that was my literary review. Also, the Diary of Awesome Friendly Kid or whatever, basically it was just like this whole long book where Greg like tricks Rowley into like he basically is mean to him / takes advantage of him for the whole book, and Rowley just like kind of doesn't notice because he's dumb, which is not funny at all or entertaining to read, and he doesn't even get it. He doesn't even get mad ever, which is like, you know, it was sort of building, and I was like waiting for the suspense to peak and Rowley to like get really mad and like fight back or something, but it's just boring. And there's this really weird subplot where he like has a crush on his geometry teacher, and it's really weird. And then there's this other weird subplot where like he like it's so bad. Okay, conspiracy theory. That cannot have been written by Jeff Kinney. I don't think he actually wrote that. He's probably retired and now he has other people write his books, but I'm still holding out hope for Wrecking Ball, the new one, which my brother just got from the library, but I'm pretty sure my friend's getting it for me for Christmas, so I'm not going to read it yet until she gives it to me, but Jeff Kinney, if you're listening, don't make another one of those. Just keep with the Greg ones, because that sucked, and I hope you're not making any money off of it. Okay. That was my rant about that.
I remember last year we watched a movie in English. I think it was The Prestige.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, like, it was, like, really weird, because, like, it kept, like, having, like, the present tense, and then it showed, like, back before that, and then it showed, like, in the future, and then it showed like what actually happened behind the scenes before the future part.
I thought that was artistically good,
and it was kind of confusing, but then like at the end I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like that was good though, because it's a movie and it like made sense, and they were trying to pull a trick on you by doing that to like make it deceiving.
I really want to watch it.
It was so good. I feel like if you watch it the first time, just like trying to pay attention and like figure out who all the characters are and then figure out the trick at the end, once you do that, I think it would be so good to like go back and watch it again, and then you can like notice things, and then you'll realize like how good it really is.
Yeah.
I think the movie is so good, and when I started reading the book, I was like, oh my goodness, this is even better. But then I just couldn't get past that one part. So I'm really sad that I'm not reading it, and maybe I will, but it's crazy how some people's brains work like that, and that's why I like to read so much and watch literary movies, apparently. Alright, so next we were supposed to talk about teachers, mean teachers, and good teachers. I don't really think I've had that many mean teachers. I've mostly had good teachers, and I like that, and I want to be a teacher when I grow up, because I love teachers, and I think that they have a good job. And they do it good, mostly. How about you, Effie? What's your opinions on teachers?
Teachers, pretty epic. I like my Spanish teacher. She's pretty epic. The Spanish teacher I had last year left and teaches at a different school now, but it's fine. She got married to like a military dude, but then the military dude has to go to the military, so they don't
Really be like that.
Yeah, our class was great. I still like talk to some. That's how I met Monisha. You know Monisha?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a character.
Yeah, that's the word of the day, guys. Character.
Yeah.
Direct and indirect characterization.
Ham.
Speaking of English. Ham.
Ham went into my English class to talk about AP versus IB.
Oh my gosh. He like runs the IB program.
Yeah.
But he doesn't teach an IB class, does he?
He does. Like, the first part of the day, he teaches like AP, and the second part, he teaches IB.
Ah, so he really knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's why he
He
came.
teaches both. Well, okay, here's the thing about Ham. I have a scheme, like usual. I want to take his class next year. And before you tell me that you have to be a junior, what if I said please?
What if I said please?
I think that I could handle taking AP Euro and A Push at the same time.
Are you sure about that?
You know, I'm pretty smart. I know what I'm doing. I feel like it's a great idea. Why wouldn't I?
You gotta be kidding me.
You've got to be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me.
Gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
You've got to be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me, right?
You gotta be kidding me. What? You gotta be kidding me!
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me!
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
You're kidding me, right?
Are you kidding me?
You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Should totally email him about it.
Okay, also, not gonna lie, we're gonna get into this, but I'm so smart.
Are you kidding me?
No, but actually I do have an IEP, so, you know, that's a pretty good grounds for asking for special favors when it comes to school and doing things that are unnecessarily hard. So, I mean, I got into child development, and I think technically you have to be a sophomore, but, like, they let me in. So, I think I should do that, because then I can take it at the same time as you. That would be so twin.
Yeah.
And then
And with
the
big
next
sister
year I
and
can
little
take
baby.
a different class, and then I can take a different class. Okay. Let's talk about subjects, though, because my least favorite subject is social studies, like, type of things. So I don't
Yeah.
know why I want to take two.
Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I like science pretty alright. English is alright, I guess. I love Spanish. Spanish is epic.
Bro, I used to love
Math.
French.
Math is alright if I can understand
Oh my
it.
gosh, I love math. Okay, I used to hate math so bad, and now I love math. I'm like becoming... Okay, you know what I did after I finished my social studies final and I had 60 plus minutes to do nothing? And I apparently
Did math?
Well, first, I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. So basically, I had a piece of notebook paper, and I had a note card for math that I was only allowed to write on the front of. So, first, I started making up synthetic division problems for myself to do. And I played this game with myself of, like, how, like, can I figure out the right thing to divide it by to get a remainder of 0 without thinking about it? So, the challenge of these things that I make up for myself always is, like, you can't, like, think about it first. So, because that would make it too easy, because then you could just figure it out. However, that's not what I want to do. I just want to, like, use intuition. Like, I always had, like, intuitions about math when I was little that I would be like, if there was a random question on the map test and I just didn't know what was going on, I would just, like, I had, like, these ideas in my head about, like, what numbers were, like, friends with each other. Like, there were certain numbers that I just, like, kind of innately knew, like, went with each other more often. You know, like, it's pretty obvious, like addition groups and, like, multiplication factors and stuff, and things that are, like, less indivisible by things than others. You know, like, it's less far off to divide 64 by... Wait. 64 can be divided by so many things. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's less far off to divide, like, 42 by 8 than it is to divide 42 by 13. I don't think that makes any sense. However, you know, I'm just, well, and so after that, I got out my note card and I started writing Pascal's triangle because Mr. told me that the most, oh no, I just, getting very worked up about math. I used to hate math so bad, but now I am obsessed with it, is what I'm trying to say. And I was writing out Pascal's triangle, and I wrote it out as big as I could, and then I flipped my paper upside down and wrote it upside down, like the other way, so that it would, like, fill up the rest of the space. Like, it's like a triangle, and then that going that way. And then I started from the corner and wrote it out, and then I did, like, a tiny one, like, over there upside down. It was very... I don't know. But it helped me with my mental addition, because, like, that I can do, like, all of these advanced math things, and I'm like, I can't add, but I'm getting better.
5 plus 7.
12. I know that one. I memorized that one. I remember memorizing it. I was, like, in 3rd grade, and I was like, bro, if I just remember that 5 plus 7 equals 12, then I won't ever have to do it. So I was just like, okay, 5 plus 7 equals 12. And now that's, like, the easiest thing for me to remember. It's more when it gets into things like 126 plus 372. Like, the hardest thing for me to do mentally is, like, adding and then, like, regrouping, kind of, I guess. So you could say, like, you know, how it's easier to add, like, 10 plus 9 than it is to add 10 plus 11. Or, like, how it's easier to add 7 plus 2 than it is to add... No,
7 plus 4.
Than it is to add 7 plus 8. 7 plus 8 is my least favorite one-digit addition fact. I hate it. 7 plus 8 is 15. That's all I have to say. Okay.
What's next?
What's next? Friends, popularity, drama, dumb stuff.
We got friends.
I have friends, actually.
I got friends on the other side.
Wow. I like having friends. I used to be more antisocial and shy, but now I'm a very social person. Oh, yeah? You're a social person? Name every person. Your mom.
Haley's mom.
Yeah. Okay, I don't feel like we really have that much to say about that. At least I don't.
Yeah.
Are we big brain?
I don't know.
I mean, it's
Are
all
we big
subjective. Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Sometimes I'm small brain, sometimes I'm big brain.
I think it depends on, you know, the
Subject.
thing. Yeah. Like, everyone has... I'm very small brain at music. Like, music, oh my goodness.
I'm big brain music person.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the areas where people have big brain that you didn't see it coming, you know? Because you don't do that a lot in school, so you're just like, oh, dummy dumb. I mean, obviously I would never do that. That's so mean. But, yeah, if you're a kid, don't say dummy dumb to people unless it's a joke, because that's
like Isabel.
better.
Isabel said dummy dumb. Now we all say dummy dumb.
Yeah, it's fine. But, yeah, I feel like you never see that one coming, but then some people are just, like, musical geniuses, and I feel like that takes a different kind of brain power, and I just don't get it,
You have to think weirder, I guess.
Yeah, they have, like, a whole different way of thinking.
Like, oh, if it's... Because, like, there's, like, the circle of fifths in, like, order of flats and sharps. So, before... in a key signature...
harder than math.
In a key signature, if there's one flat, it's always going to be, like, for treble and bass clef, it's always going to be B flat, because that's the one that goes first. And after B flat is E flat. And then...
Don't try to explain it.
It goes. Okay, there's an order, and then the sharp order is backwards. I know the sharp order because my violin teacher told me, because it's he gave me a thing. It was like fat cats go down alleys eating birds. So F sharp is always first, then C sharp,
Wait,
then
what
G
do you
sharp.
mean order? Never mind. I don't think I understand
And then,
music.
like,
I mean, I'm sure, like, if I was
if you're-
trained more, I would get better, but just, like,
Music
naturally, no.
Music
I do not
theory.
have the big brain.
And then, like, the note that a song ends in, no matter what key it might have started in, the key that it ends in, or what note makes it sound ended, that's what key it's in.
Yeah, I think Miss told me that one time.
And, like, everything has to fit.
Oh, I said her name.
Everything has to fit in, like, however many beats you have in that measure.
Yeah.
And you have to know.
I understand that because of Quincy quarter note and, like, they all have names. Quincy quarter note, and then his little sister, the eighth note, Ella eighth note, maybe.
Meet the note families and friends. Willie whole note, Helen half note, Quincy quarter note, Ellie eighth note, Susie 16th note, Papa parrot the 32nd note, Fofo fish the 64th note, Little Dot, Walter whole rest, Hazel half rest, Quentin quarter rest, Edith eighth rest, Sissy 16th rest, Chi Chi chicken the 32nd rest, and Pico peacock the 64th rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole notes, half notes.
Walter whole note. He's
Walter.
Oh my gosh, Walter.
Hello, I'm Walter whole rest, Yan. I like to hang around in songhouse rooms. Color my face dark blue. My hair and shoes can be light blue. What color is your room?
That's why you.
No, that's just what his name is.
Walter.
And then his wife, like, Helen half note. And then
Yeah.
there's the Rest family, too. So there's, like, I
Whole
don't-
rests
I
are
don't
holes. 'Cause
I know,
they look like
whole
a
rests
hole.
are whole and half rest is a hat.
Yeah.
I remember that. I know that.
And then
Very
quarter
big
rest be
brain.
like.
Yeah, I can draw that for sure. Probably.
Then after that, they just become like a little dot with a line, and then the smaller they are,
Oh,
the more
gosh.
dots they have.
Just like Cha Cha chicken 32nd rest and Pico peacock 64th rest.
For like 8th note, 16th
Did you guys ever
note,
be
32nd
clapping
note.
rhythms? Because we would always clap
Yeah.
rhythms in music class.
Be
And
like,
we
1, 2.
No, we said ta ta ti ti ta. So
We said the numbers in band because that's better.
in elementary school though, when we were learning rhythms, it would be like a quarter note is ta. Oh, I better stop clapping. And then for like anything bigger than that, you just continue it.
Tiki,
So like a
tiki.
half note, and then you like move your hands in circles like this. So like a half note would be like ta, and then like a whole note would be like ta, and then an eighth note is like ti ti, and then a 16th note is like tiki tiki, and you just keep going. It's very fun. But I hated music class, and so then I was like, when I get to middle school, I'm not taking band and not taking anything musical ever again. And I didn't. So that's great. That's my life.
Yeah. In band, our band teacher that left the district. No. He teaches at like a different one. But he'd be like, so when we rest, we like clap and we hold our hands together. And for each beat, we'd go like in and then out. So it'd be like a whole note would be like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, we would go like this. We would just have our hands
But that would
out
be
and just
rest. Because then
Yeah,
it'd be
for
1,
rest.
2, 3, 4. For a whole note, it's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, we
4.
would just keep going like this.
Yeah, for rest, we put our hands apart
Yeah.
because you can't clap if they're apart. You can't make.
Because of physics, guys.
And then, like, so then quarter notes would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Just doing the split.
Yes.
And then eighth notes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 16th
Yeah, that's like more
notes
professional.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and
Tiki
a.
tiki 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 ta ta tiki tiki ta tiki tiki ta ta. Wow, and that's how I became a professional drummer. No.
And then when we do, like, dotted notes, it'd be like 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and...
Oh, yeah. Dotted quarter note is, like, it gets, like... Oh, no. It gets, like, 2 beats, right?
Dotted quarter note, it gets 1 and a half.
Oh,
The
yeah. How did we do the half beats? We would snap,
1
I
and
think.
2.
We would be like...
1 and 2
No. It would be like... Ta. Wait, no, none of this. It'd be like ta. It'd be like ta. I don't know.
1...
Ta.
Because it's 1
Because if it was like a dotted
2
half note,
and...
dotted half note is what we would actually be singing. So we would go like ta or something like that. I don't think
The
that's
dotted
actually
half
correct.
note gives 3 beats.
Oh yeah, so that's what I was thinking of. Okay, I don't know. Anyways, let's move on from big brain time. We're gonna talk about like theory of multiple intelligences and stuff when Isabel comes on, but we kind of just touched on that with music, but it's fine. Okay, grades. Do we think it matters? Are you dumb if you get bad grades, and is it always possible to get a good grade?
It's always possible to get a good grade if you pay attention and you do your work and you turn your work in on time. If you don't do your work or turn it in on time or don't try, then you will most likely get bad grades.
I would say it's generally always possible to get a good grade, or at least thus far. Like, I feel like getting into college and stuff, sometimes it's gonna be like...
Because grades just show, like,
I mean...
how much... I had a
if
thought.
if it's a fairly graded class and you don't have some kind of other issues going on, then it should be possible for you to get a good grade if you put in the appropriate amount of work.
Yeah. Grades just, like, show how good of a student you are. Because some people may be smart, but they're not good students because they don't do their work or, like, try to learn.
Yeah.
They might be smart, but
Someone
then they
should
don't
come
try.
up with a name for that, like gifted kid severe regression syndrome upon entering the real world. But like also like sometimes there are unfair situations. Like I feel like this happened more in the olden days, and I don't feel like I've ever been put in a situation where I felt like I couldn't get a good grade on something even if I tried. But, or at least, like, you know, you can't always get, like, a perfect grade, but sometimes you can get, like, a good enough grade on individual assignments and stuff. But, like, my dad told me, like, when he was in middle school, they had, like, this woodshop class where your grade just totally depended on if the teacher would like you or not. And he just came around and just looked at your project and just said, like, C. He just looked at it and he was like, C. Even if there was, like, nothing really wrong with it. He just didn't really like my dad, like, that much. So he would just be like, yeah, C. So my dad got a C in that class, apparently. And then my mom told me, like, when her dad was in college, he, like, all the professors, apparently, their favorite way to grade essays that were, like, hundreds of pages long was to just take them all and yeet them down a staircase. The ones that landed at the top got an A, and the ones that landed at the bottom got an F. So, you know, situations like that aside, and just, like, you know, things that are just too hard. Like, I feel like maybe if someone should not be placed in, like, an above-level class, maybe they wouldn't be able to get, like, an A. I still think they would be able to pass, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. I feel like I've never been put in a situation where I felt like I couldn't get a good grade.
Yeah.
Are you dumb if you get bad grades? No, probably not. It just depends on why you got a bad
You would
grade.
be, yeah. If you got a bad grade because you got all the answers wrong, and you didn't understand any of the material, then you're just like, you're not like dumb. You're just like not smart in that area.
Not dumb. You're just not smart. No, it's just like
You just need to try harder.
I mean, if you're trying your best and you're still doing bad, then it's like, are you in too hard of a class? do you need to be asking for help and you're not?
Yeah.
Like,
I never ask for help, even if I need it.
I know,
'Cause
I'm
I
so
don't
bad
like-
about that.
I don't like asking.
But I try to ask if, like, I should have asked on the test, Mr. Math Teacher, do we have to put a 1? And he could have just said yes, and then I probably would have gotten like 100, honestly. But do we think grades matter? I mean, to be honest, it kind of does. Not in middle school.
Not that much in middle school. Once you get to high school, they do, because that's what colleges look at.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to college or get like a good job after high school, they'll look at your grades, and then they'll see like,
And your test scores. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, personally, my parents aren't that hard on me about my grades, but it's because they know I am. I'm very hard on myself
Oh my gosh, Isabel.
about my grades.
Isabel's
Isabel's
so-
worse.
It's so she checks her Skyward like 8 times a day.
Yeah, my mom was telling me about that. Oh my goodness, what did she call it? Gunners.
What?
Gunners. She said, like, in medical school, there would always be gunners who are just, like, they want to get the best grade in the class. They want to be at the top of the class. They want to know that they have a good grade. They're the type of teacher who will go, not the type of teacher, the type of student who will go ask the teacher, like, how they can make their grade even higher, even if it's good. Or, like,
it's 100%.
they'll, like, debate every little answer that they got wrong. Stuff like that. And she was like, you know, you don't really have to be like that. And I was like, I'm not like that. I try to be like a behind the scenes gunner. Like, I want to be like that, but I'm not going to go do that. That's my attitude towards it. But, like, there's certain people in my grade who are just like, oh yeah, what grade do you have in this class? Or just like, you know, not calling anyone out. I like to compare grades too, but my mom doesn't. Although, I do have to say, like, when we were in the car with Lily, and after I told her what I did get on my math final, she was like, oh, really? That's lower than your usual. And I was just like, Mom! I thought you didn't like talking about grades.
Oh, really? That's lower than...
I was like, it's still an A. What? She was like, yeah, but, you know, if you would have known about that thing, you could have done better. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't imagine, like, you know, not calling out any countries in particular. Oh no, I don't know where this is going now. Some places have higher expectations about grades than other places, and just people in general. And you always hear about, like, those countries having such high rates of suicide because of it, and it's just, like, bad. I don't think it should be that important.
Yeah.
It should never be that important, but...
How long have we been recording this?
I don't know, I feel like it's getting very long. Okay. Okay, now we're talking about the twin split. Being in a gifted program grade below versus a grade above. Was it the right call? That we were in different grades. I think yes, because, you know, birthday cutoffs.
Yeah.
Even though we're twins, but...
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. I went to EL. It was great. Like, I missed basically a day of school every week for elementary school, for my whole elementary school career. Just going to another school, and we would do, like, independent research projects, stuff like that. I don't feel like I really learned that much, or that it was a great use of my time, but it was nice to, like, talk to other kids who were just, like, complete nerds and realize, like, you know, there are people who are smarter than me, and, like, not that I ever thought that I was the smartest person in my class. I never thought that, because I always knew that the twins were way smarter than me. They got into EL in, like, kindergarten, but apparently it was, like, their mom's idea that they should be in that, but, I mean, I don't disagree with her. I knew that they were way smarter than at me. They were so smart just to my face. And we would always work on stuff in gifted groups, and I think that was good, and just, like, talking to other people who were just like, yeah, my friends always make fun of me for being so smart, and, like, nobody ever understands when I use big words. Just like, I don't know, it was dumb. But I feel like I made good friends in that, and it was just like a good opportunity to like challenge myself and have other people challenge me. Their ultimate goal, I think, was always like, we don't want you guys to get to middle school or high school or even college and be challenged at something for the first time in your life. Like, we don't want you to go through elementary school not having to, like, learn anything new. We don't want you to, like, have to figure out how to work hard when you need to. Because they say, like, a lot of kids who are really smart don't know what to do when there's something that's too hard for them, and they don't cope with that very well. And I always heard that, and I was like, yeah, I guess, but, like, I don't feel like I'm one of those people, or, like, I don't think that would happen to me. But it was true, because, like, things like that would come up, and I would, like, start, like, I think in geometry, too, for some reason, geometry was harder for me than, like, even algebra 2, but I guess it's just not the way my brain works, is for shapes and stuff.
Geometry was, like, easy.
Yeah, everyone thinks geometry is way easier. I think algebra 2 is honestly easier, but...
You're either geometry or algebra.
Yeah, that's what they say. And apparently I'm algebra, so... but, like... I would find myself, like, getting really frustrated when people criticize me, which I did not expect myself to do that, but I just, like, couldn't help it. It's really weird, because I was like, no, I don't think I'm that smart. But it's, like, it was really tough, and, like, when everyone in the class thought that geometry was easy, and I was like, I think it's kind of hard. Like, it was really weird for me, and I would, like, go home and, like, cry about it.
Oh.
Like, it was insane. I didn't expect it. But, like, I almost cried during class one time because Miss was trying to explain something to me.
Miss
and
who?
And I was just like, I don't get it. It's not like I need her to answer one tiny question and then I'll be okay, which was what I was apparently used to. It was like, I don't know where to start on this problem. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. And I almost started crying. It was rough. And I would, like, cry at home, and I would be like, I'm not smart anymore. Everybody else caught up to me. I'm not smart. Like, I'm so stupid. I don't know. It was pretty bad. And then it was horrible, because then I heard Max start saying, like, I'm not smart. And I was like, oh, no. I'm going to stop saying that right now. And that's being a big sister for you.
How to be a big sister.
How to be a big sister.
Featuring two big sisters.
I remember always, like, being, like, the type of person who was like, it's so weird when, I don't like it when people say, like, negative things about themselves, and I just don't see the point in that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Fishing for compliments? Like, 'cause, okay, like, classic kid artist. This is such a bad picture. I'm not even good at drawing. Oh my gosh, what? And then they're like a really good artist, and you're like, whoa. And it's like, just say if you're good at art or not. Like, I don't care if you say that you're good at it, because
I just say I'm alright, because I'm alright.
I feel like that's fair, Just think about what is their reaction going to be, and do you want them to change their reaction? Because nobody wants someone to change their reaction. Wow, this is getting really deep. How long is this? Oh no, it's in measures. It's 2004 measures long! That's what I was born! Oh my goodness, we're gonna hit 2020 pretty soon here, guys, on the podcast and measures. This is getting long. Okay. But, yeah, okay. Last thing. What school do we want to attend in the future? More school? Actually wanting to be a teacher and spend the rest of my life in a school?
I do not want to be a teacher.
I do.
Well, like, not a teacher of, like, if I want to be a teacher, I want to teach English in Korea. South Korea, to be exact. I want to learn, like, a lot of languages. Like, My goal is 20 languages.
You're kidding me, right?
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of languages. Wait, what
I
measure?
learn
Oh, we're already
French-
in 2030. Okay.
If I learned French, I don't want to learn it like early. I want to learn like Korean.
You want to put it off until later on?
I think in the summer I want to take Korean classes and learn Korean.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
Cuz I need help with Korean.
going back to that theory of multiple intelligences, one of them is like linguistic, and that's one's like about language. And
I'm so good at language.
I always said, like, yes, I have that one because I'm good at reading, but that's just like English. So I don't know, because I don't think I have like a thing just like in my brain about learning languages and like picking them up, although I am good in my French class. So yeah.
Yeah. I talk pretty good Spanish, and I learn pretty fast, I guess. Like
I should probably learn Spanish.
like I looked at my Korean book. It's not funny, but it's so funny.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
what schools do we want to attend in the future?
I
I want to
was-
go to college.
I want to go to a college. I don't know which one. Recently, I looked at UCLA, and that was pretty epic looking school.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to go there because it's just like,
I want to go to a coast school because I like ocean.
yeah. Apparently, I'm not that adventurous of a person. Like, honestly, sure, I'll just live in the Midwest for the rest of my life and be a teacher. That's a great life. I do
You-
not. See, I'm not. I always thought when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, traveling. I love to travel. But honestly, I don't. Like, I like to travel, but it's not like my passion. I don't want to go everywhere in the world.
I want to go to Korea. I want to go
Yeah,
to
Effie wants to
Japan.
go everywhere
I
in
want
the
to go
world.
to China. Learn Chinese, bro.
Like, that's not my entire vibe. I want to go places, but I don't want to go, like, all the places.
I want to go. I think our school has this trip that goes to like a Spanish speaking country if you're in Spanish. And I think Lillian and I would be on the same trip thingy. It'd be next year between after junior year before senior year, there would be a trip to like a Spanish speaking country. I don't know which one. But it's pretty epic.
Well, that's great. I probably... See, here's my whole conundrum. I kind of want to go to K-State. However, K-State is like, you know, it's a state school. It's not like a bad school. It's a pretty good school. But it's not like prestigious school. It's not like hard to get into. You know, you
Yeah.
can pretty much get
You could
in
go
on
to
like
a
a 3.0
prestigious-
GPA. And they're like, 3.0 GPA? Okay, we will take you. But it's like...
You could have like a 5.0 GPA if you wanted to. I think mine's like 4 point something.
I mean, I think I'm gonna, not to brag or anything, but like, I think I'm gonna end up with like pretty good stats going into this. Like, I could probably get into a better school than K-State.
Yeah. You
Like,
should apply for some better ones.
yeah, that way at least I can say that. But I don't know. I don't want to go that far away from home. I feel like there's not really that much of a point to going to an out-of-state school unless you have like a good reason, because it's just like they're less likely to take you, especially at a prestigious school. Like, I've heard it's pretty hard to get into UCLA if you don't live in California. Like, they really prefer to have people from California.
Yeah. I should just move to California.
But and it just costs more. I mean,
Yeah.
I expect to get some scholarship money, but like, I feel like, you know, you can get even more scholarships if you're going to an in-state school, and then you can pretty much just go for free. So like, that would be pretty nice.
Yeah. I want to learn a lot of languages, and I've been
Oh
looking
my
up,
gosh.
but like it's like, oh, we have science, technology, and engineering and stuff, and I'm like, bro, where's the foreign
Poopy.
language major though?
Like, you can go anywhere to become a teacher. Like, it's not that complicated. But then also I'm like, well, if I'm smart, should I be doing something harder? But then, I think I would be a good teacher, and I think, you don't want a dumb person to be teaching your kids, do you? I think it's just good, so,
yeah.
I don't need to become a doctor. And I'm probably not going to. Yep.
That looks like
That's all the time we have for this episode.
Are we gonna answer those questions?
Yeah, let's save that for our next episode, please, because we have enough time. See you next time on Twin Brain Podcast.
Adios.